See if he calls in. He'll call back in. Okay.
Just have.
All right. I think it depends on the phone you're calling from. I'm not sure. So, all right, we're going to call this commission meeting to order here today. It's 5 o'clock, September 4th, here in Box Elder County, and we'll start off with an invocation. It'll be given by myself, and then we'll be led in a pledge of allegiance by our county treasurer, Sean Thornley. So we'll start off here with a prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come before thee this time grateful for the blessings that thou hast blessed us with here in Box Elder County. We're grateful for the great Box Elder County Fair that we were able to celebrate this last week and finish up and celebrate with our county citizens and folks that wanted to be there and participate in that great event. And we pray that thou will bless the folks here in Brigham City as they prepare for Peach Days this weekend, that all will go well and people will stay safe. And we pray that thou will guide and direct us here as we do the people's business here in Box Elder County this day, that we'll be guided and directed by thy spirit and guidance, and that we can continue to think about those who we serve and the citizens that need to be served by the county in the various ways that which we do. And we pray that thou will bless those who are in special need of help at this time, to be with them and let them know that we're thinking of them and desire the very best for them. We pray that thou will bless and watch over our military and our responders who protect us and keep us safe each and every day. And again, we're grateful that we can live in this country where we are free to associate and continue to move forward and do the positive things which we do in the United States of America and here in this government. We ask for these favors and blessings and say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, before we go to approve the minutes agenda, I'll just point out that Commissioner Summers was going to try and join us electronically. He may yet come back in and join us electronically, but he's dealing with a situation at home with his son. So we'll go to item C here of approval of the minutes from August 14th, 2024.
And we'll move those to next meeting.
We're going to move that to next meeting? Okay, so we'll move that on to the next meeting. All right. And then, let's see, do we have anything for the future agenda items? We did have that. We're going to make some changes to our commission schedule. The October 16th meeting will be adjusted and put on October 23rd at the next meeting, and we'll figure out the time for that. And then we will probably be adjusting our county commission meeting in November, moving it from the 20th, which is a Wednesday, to the 19th, so that we can also conduct our election canvass with our county clerk. So those will be two items on the next agenda that we will deal with and go forward. Anything from the former agenda items we need to discuss? Okay. No emergency management issues. I don't think we have any ARPA or LATCF. So we're going to go on to our public interest presentations, and we're going to start with Tammy Berry, a partial waiver of the large exhibit building and fee waiver for museum building. Come on up, Tammy. And we got a guest with you. That's great. So if you want to just make sure we pull the mic up so that we can hear it, and then we'll have you introduce each other and who you are, and get that recorded.
Hello, Commission. I am Tammy Berry, and I do work in the Box Elder County Treasurer's Office. However, I am here tonight as the Miss Wilderness Circuit Rodeo Queen Director and Pageant Director. For 7 years now, we've held our pageant at the Box Elder County Fairgrounds. We brought it from Weber County here. 6 of those years, we paid fully for the facility and provided insurance. But as expenses have increased, we find it necessary to ask for a partial fee waiver. Friday is a big setup day for us. We set up the stage, tables, and chairs, and we usually plan on about 110 that attend this event. And we do a lot of work to bring in sponsors for prizes, et cetera, for our Miss Wilderness Circuit. And we need the Home Arts Building, the Museum Building, and the large indoor arena. We are prepared to pay $400 for the facility, but that is all that we have in our budget to pay. So I'm asking for that. And I would also like to just read a letter from our Miss Wilderness Circuit. This is Olivia Favero, and she is our first attendant to our Miss Wilderness Circuit. And she has done us a great job. She's also Miss Rodeo Oakley and happens to be the lady in waiting for Miss Rodeo Utah. And she will take over as Miss Rodeo Utah in January of this year. So congratulations to Olivia. We have great contestants, great people that come and support us. Our Miss Wilderness Circuit Morgan has been in Parowan in Iron County and just got back at 2 o'clock today and is now in Blackfoot, Idaho, representing. She's traveled over 30,000 miles, including to Pennsylvania. So we do a lot of things as a circuit.
They know what rodeos are back there, huh?
They really do. They really do. So this is something that Morgan wanted to say. And you probably saw Morgan, our Miss Wilderness Circuit, at the fair, and she references that here. And also Olivia was there at least one of the nights. Was it Saturday?
Sure.
Okay.
It all rolls together because you were somewhere at a fair probably during that time. Yeah.
Okay, so Morgan says, regrettably, I can't be with you in person tonight as I'm participating in another rodeo. However, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for the incredible experience you provided over the past 4 nights of the fair. The Box Elder County Fair and Rodeo is truly exceptional, featuring outstanding cowboys, cowgirls, and the most enthusiastic crowd around. I might be biased, but there is no doubt in my mind that the event you host is unparalleled. The energy and atmosphere are electric, filled with a community of wonderful people. Last year, I had the privilege of using your remarkable facilities while competing for Miss Wilderness Circuit. The experience was nothing short of exceptional. Knowing that my horse and I were in a safe, well-maintained environment significantly eased my concerns, allowing me to focus on the competition. Over the past year, I've visited many rodeo grounds, but none compared to the quality and care evident at yours. The support and professionalism provided by your team were instrumental in my success, both in the competition and throughout your rodeo. I cannot thank you enough for the dedication and effort you put forth into ensuring that rodeo queens and contestants like myself have the best possible experience. It is a blessing to participate in a smoothly run contest, knowing that the venue plays a significant role in that success. Thank you once again for allowing us to hold our event at your facilities. We hope to continue this tradition for many years to come. I'm truly blessed to know so many of you and deeply grateful for everything you do for us. I look forward to seeing you all down the rodeo trail, and that's warmest regards, Morgan Perkins. And now I'm going to turn some time over to Olivia just to talk a little bit about some of the service that rodeo queens do and a little bit about the Wilderness Circuit.
Cool. Okay, so I've been a rodeo queen since I was 8, 12 summers now. I've been able to.
Just say your name for the record.
Oh, you got it. My name is Olivia Favero, and I'm from Taylor, Utah. And as I've grown up rodeo queening, I've been able to experience lots of different rodeos, especially the Box Elder County Fair. The last 2 years, I was able to go and represent the Wilderness Circuit as the first attendant, and also other titles that I was holding at the time. And I've gotten to watch a lot of the past Miss Wilderness Circuits represent throughout their whole year. With social media, it's really easy for me to follow along and see where they go, but I also would try and get those autograph sheets from those Miss Wilderness Circuits when I was a young girl. And so to see their journey and see what they get to do has been very influential in my journey as well. And as Miss Wilderness Circuit, they get to go throughout the country and throughout Utah, Idaho, and Nevada. That's their main focus because that is what makes up the Wilderness Circuit. And Morgan, she's done a great job this year, and I got to travel with her a little bit and see her at other rodeos, including the Wilderness Circuit Finals in Heber City in November. And at that rodeo, some of the rodeo queens are able to carry the sponsor flags and get them the recognition that they deserve for helping us to put on those rodeos. And rodeo queens, really, it's a job of service. It is a job that you're there to help and do what people ask of you and always keep a smile on your face. And Miss Wilderness Circuit definitely exemplifies that and proves that to be true. Serving as a rodeo queen, you have a lot of people watching you and watching you ride your horse, but also at other events, maybe like a commission meeting or other city events. And so it's very fun to be in the public, but also at the rodeos participating in those as well. I know that Wilderness Circuit is a great contest. I had a very positive experience the last 2 years that I was able to compete and place first runner-up at both of those years' pageants. And Tammy and her daughter Lacey, they do a great job of providing the contest with very organized judging sheets, and the contest always is a timely manner. They make sure to start on time and get the audience there so that they can watch the horsemanship pageant, or the horsemanship portion, and also the inside portion on Saturday. They break it up into 2 days, and so Friday night we always start with the horsemanship, which is, I think, a good way to start the contest. It's one of my favorite parts of the pageant. And then the Saturday portion is all of the indoor events that we compete in, public speech, interview with our judges, and then we also get to communicate with our judges at that facility. It's very nice because there's plenty of space for us to host a dinner and a luncheon to get to know those judges better, one-on-one, and just in a friendly manner other than the interview. So there's no better place to hold it than the Box Elder County Fairgrounds. And there's 4 girls competing from Utah this year and also 1 girl from Idaho. So those contestants will definitely bring their game, and I think that they will really enjoy to have it at the Box Elder County Fairgrounds again this year. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes your presentation? Any questions?
Yeah, just a question. So you're still gonna have insurance?
We do have the insurance, and I have
Move the-
already.
move the mic back.
We do have the insurance, and I've already forwarded it to Jan. I understand Jan's in Blackfoot today, but I did receive that this morning, and the requirements are met.
And so, I mean, if you're paying 400, what are we waiving? How much, do we know?
I think you'd be waiving about $800, and we'd be paying $400.
Okay. Any other questions, Commissioner?
I don't have any other questions.
I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we grant the partial waiver of large exhibit building and fee waiver for museum building.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay,
Appreciate it.
okay. All right, let's do the annual review of the state budget for the Children's Justice Center. Sterling. Good.
Thank you.
Sterling Marks, the director of the Box Elder Children's Justice Center. So here for the annual review of the state budget. This is decided by the state Children's Justice Center program. They have a formula that determines the amount that each county gets for their contract. And then we work with what we have. So they've done an awesome job going to legislature and getting some more funds for victim services. So the amount that I have to work with is increased, which allows me to help provide more trainings for members of the team, multidisciplinary team, law enforcement, and others. So I just sent 4 members of that team to Dallas to a national conference there. So grateful to have these funds that help with that. So
Okay.
any questions about it?
Any questions, Commissioner?
No.
Okay. Do we need to approve this for you, or
I just need
Just-
one of you to sign it.
you just need to
that's
say
it.
that we saw it?
Yep.
Okay.
Like I say, we don't have any,
And we're the contractor signature, is that right?
yeah.
Okay. Do you have a copy you need over there, or that you need us to sign on that one? And do you think we need to have a motion to sign this or not? Probably should. Okay, well, let's entertain a motion then.
I make a motion that we
Okay.
sign the State of Utah Contract Amendment Number 3 to contract number 230348.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, well, I'll sign it, but we need to make sure Marla gets a copy here, so.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Give you that one. Okay, next item on the agenda, we'll be discussing property tax issue of parcel 03-030-011, changed over to a different parcel for Cindy Gibbons. Cindy. Okay. Probably one for our county attorney there.
Do you need one more? Okay, the first page,
Okay, when you start off, just start off with who you are. so
I'm
the-
Cindy Gibbons.
Just bring that mic down so it can be recorded. There you go.
Okay, I'm Cindy Gibbons, and the first page is what the property records show that I thought we purchased. My family's owned it since 1966. I bought it from Dad in 2015. And then the
And
second.
when you tell us that, are we talking, just because I'm looking at this thing, are we
It's
talking east
in
side and west side of
East
89?
and west side.
Oh, both sides,
yeah.
okay.
And then on the next, if you go to the 2024 taxes, it's showing 0.75 acres.
Mm-hmm,
But if you go back to the next one of 2023,
yep.
it's 2.17 acres. So I've been paying for 2.17 acres, well, since 1966.
Mm-hmm,
And even if you look at the next one that shows the township range, it is showing that that is my property. And for some reason, this tax notice that showed up in 2024 is only showing the 0.75, and that Brigham City owns the property on the other side of the highway. So I've been paying taxes on 2.17 acres, and now they're telling me I only own 0.75 acres.
okay.
So did you sell that to Brigham City?
No, not in my dad's lifetime and not in mine. But there is a deed in here from 1956. And when I was in talking to downstairs to the recorder's office
Yeah,
and the assessor's office, they says that this had not been recorded. But if you look on here, it has been recorded. So I don't, somewhere in the courthouse, there's been kind of a miscommunication.
yeah. I mean, it was obviously recorded in 1956, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
So I just want to know,
Was it,
they told me I need to come in and talk to you guys, so what's my next step?
that's a good question. So it was recorded, selling it to Brigham City is what we're saying? And so do you
Yeah.
currently own, so I guess the question I'm trying to figure out, do you own 0.75 acres or 2.17 acres? Which one do you really own?
I think I own 2.17, but according to this latest tax notice, I only own 0.75.
And that Brigham thinks they own the other part of your property,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know who to go to.
Well,
So does your deed show that Brigham City purchased that at any time?
It doesn't.
what is the one I
The
was showing?
deed that
the
I
recorded
have
one?
shows that UDOT purchased when they widened the highway in Manaway,
Mm-hmm.
that they widened the road and sold that to UDOT for $10,000. But it doesn't show anything about,
Yeah, but that wouldn't be 2 acres.
yeah. So if Brigham City wants the property, I'll sell it to them, or,
Well, that's what I'm looking at the warranty deed. It looks like that it was, if I'm reading this warranty deed correctly, it shows Scott Olson also, Scott Olson, and it goes on his wife, and it says and warrant to Brigham City Corporation
yeah.
of Brigham City. So it looks like, when I'm
I
reading
think
this.
it just, somewhere in the courthouse, didn't get recorded with the assessor's office or the treasurer's office.
But it's in the recorder's office.
Yeah, but I've been paying taxes on it, so,
Right, no, I understand that, yeah.
So who signed, this is Abner Scott Olson, is that your relative?
yeah. No, that's who we purchased it from,
That's who you
and
purchased
he's
it from.
since deceased.
So they had a warranty deed to Brigham City Corporation
That's in 1956.
in 1950.
And I'm just surprised where my dad bought it, the title
Right.
agency should have got it, and when I bought it, the title agency should have
Well,
caught
and
it.
somebody should have caught it when DOT did all their things, so that's
yeah.
why I'm still I'm really confused as to why we're where we're at. Can you see anything in here, Steve, that we need, I mean, are we just gonna have to sit down with our recorder and everybody and figure out who really owns this property at this point. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the solution to the problem.
Yeah, because I've been here, I've talked to recorders,
Okay.
the assessors, I've been upstairs, downstairs, and.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And so yeah, I think that's probably why. So I think what we're gonna have to do is set up a meeting, and we've got your contact information. We're gonna set up a meeting maybe with all of the folks involved. We may even, I don't know, if I can find the records of where UDOT sold or bought that piece, we may even involve some of their attorneys to say, okay,
I might
what's going
have
on?
it here and
Okay,
we can
Might-
get copies of it.
Might actually have to survey it because it says here,
I've got a surveyor up there today who is,
looking at it.
We're
so it's saying
looking
this
at it.
warranty deed is containing 10.79 acres, and when you go back, you can see that Brigham City owns 2 parcels to the north and just to the north, Block 11 and 0008. So the question is yours. So I don't know, I don't know what the survey says, but 10.79 acres is different than 2.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm confused.
I can see how you
Yeah.
would be. So you have somebody up there surveying it right now?
I do, I've got Cash Landmark Engineering over there today, surveying it. And
this-
he's the one that pointed out that
Yeah.
the deed had been recorded in 56, because everybody here had said that they just barely found it and recorded it, but it has been recorded.
Yeah, we can see it right here in front of us, the warranty deed, yeah.
Yeah.
This property is just I'm trying to think where this is at. You're north of, where the turn is to turn into Manaway is, correct? Is that what we're looking at
Yeah.
on this map? So
Yeah.
before you get to the curve that heads you up the canyon further up,
Yeah,
right?
I own most of the property on
Okay.
the
Yeah,
west
I
side of the
mean,
road.
even as you look at that, it says Brigham City owns all the properties around, what, yours?
Except for mine, yeah.
2 to the north, 1 to the
Well,
south.
and Brigham owns a lot because they own that thing up on the hill. One of their controlling things is up on top of that hill above there that they control up above
Yeah,
there.
because there's
That's
a
why they
water
have most-
tower and
Yeah.
a couple of things. But yeah, when they asked me for permission to,
Have you talked to anybody in Brigham City to see what they say on owning this?
no,
Okay.
I don't know who to talk to.
Well, that's what we need to figure out. So maybe, I think the best thing for us to do is to take this back, work with our attorney's office. Oh, Rod, do you maybe have a suggestion? And
I think the question is not what she owns.
Right.
I think it's pretty clear that she doesn't own the part that she thinks she does in Brigham City. That's what the deed says.
okay, does she own 2 or 0.75? How much does she really own? That's
I think the deed that they did, the latest, it was when she changed it from a trust to herself is when it was caught in the recorder's office.
Okay.
How that was done, that part I don't know, but that's what has happened is when she did that trust to her individual name instead, that's when it became evident to them and it was sent back up to us. I don't know the stuff back behind, that's where it gets complicated, so.
right.
Whether it was not recorded, whether it was not submitted, those are answers I can't tell you. But I don't think it's a question of whether she owns what we got on the other side. I think it's just a question of how it come about.
Yeah.
When, I don't know.
So are you confident then, we could be talking to Chad probably, but, so
Yes.
0.75 is what she currently owns, not 2.17?
That's the way I understand it.
That's your
But
understanding.
I'm not a recorder and I'm not a title guy, so, but that's.
And neither are
He
we.
has
We don't.
been a big
yeah.
help. He
Yeah,
is-
neither are we.
has
But that's
helped
where we're
me
gonna
out
have to go to our
immensely on
recorder's
this.
office and sit down and work this out and find out. So I think that's the answer is we've got your information. We'll work with the attorney's office. We'll go back, we'll get down with the recorders. Let's find out what really happened here. And then we bring you back in and we'll
Yep. So
figure
I-
out what the bottom line is, so.
So I have a question, Rod. Since there's a question of ownership, who's been paying the tax on it?
Me,
You have documentation that you
Yes.
paid tax on it since
Up to-
1961?
I've got all the way, mine back to 215 when I bought it, and I've got my father's from back into 66. So,
Of the bigger piece of property.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what, I mean, I'm looking at that and you paid obviously in 2023, you paid 2.17, so yeah.
yeah.
And that's part of what her concern is. How do you make that right?
Right,
The first step is we have to figure out
Who
was
owns what?
mistakes, how it was
Yep.
done. I guess if there was mistakes, is it something you guys want to entertain, or do you not want to entertain? Statute says that you have the right to appeal every year based on value. It doesn't
Right.
say anything about acreage, it doesn't say anything about anything else. So
Right.
that's why, when we talked, I says, there's nothing we can do
Right.
as our
Yeah.
office. So if that's the way it went, the only thing that could be done is a forgiveness or something of the taxes paid in the past. I know she had talked to me, and I didn't think about that when we talked. She wants to go way back. Statute also says nothing can be done
Well, no, I
more
would
than
just-
5 years.
Right,
Yeah, I purchased it in 2015, so
Yeah.
that's all I'm worried about.
right.
But those are just.
So we can, yeah, I think those are things we need to address.
Statutes.
We need to look at the
Be aware.
statute and be aware of. No, I appreciate that, so,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, well,
Anything else you can think
I
of?
was gonna say, the other thing is, if Brigham City owns the property and you've been paying the taxes, maybe we ought to knock on their door, you know?
Right, they wouldn't be paying any taxes, so, but they,
There's always a wrinkle, isn't there?
yeah, we wouldn't have been getting, yeah, it's a weird ending. So I think that there's really not any motion we can take on it other than to say that we're gonna work on this and get back with you. We'll start working on it now that we know what the problem is, get with the recorder's office, see what we can figure out what it is, and then we would probably invite you to come back and make the formal request that we look at, if we've come to this number that you've been paying for stuff you shouldn't be paying for, that perhaps we, that we can work out a way to reimburse you for up to 5 years based on statute. So, does that work?
That works.
Okay, well, this is
I was excited when my taxes were like $600 lower this year, and then when
well,
I
yeah,
really
it's great when they're
realized why,
$600
it's
lower,
like,
but then
okay.
you realize you lost 1.2 some like acres, and you're like, what? So yeah, I get it. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention, and we'll work on it, so thank you. All right, we're gonna go to our attorney's office for MOU 2436.
It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just an MOU between Box Elder, Cache, and Rich County, and the Health Department and the Mental Health Department to restructure. It's agreement saying that we're working on it and everybody's going to cooperate and work together. So we
Yeah.
just need the county commission to approve on behalf of the county.
Right. We've been working to work this out because we probably weren't in complete compliance with where we needed to be, and this will help us get us there if we can get this thing put through, so. I didn't entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve MOU number 24-36.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Let's go to ratifying signatures on beer license form for Fast Stop 1119 in South Willard. Marla?
All right, on this one, there was a change of ownership on the Trigon station that sells beer out in South Willard, and they've changed the name to Fast Stop 1119. And so when that happens, it has to be a quick changeover, and so some signatures from the sheriff's office as well as you needed to be signed last week, and so you just need to ratify that
Right.
signature.
So I'd entertain a motion to ratify the signatures we placed on the beer license for the Fast Stop in South Willard.
Okay, I will make a motion and we ratify the signatures on the beer license consent form for Fast Stop 119 Incorporated.
And I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Okay, Scott, come on up. We got community development. 4 items.
Scott Lyons, Community Development Department. Our first item is ordinance number 600. This is amending section 2-1-050 of our land use code. This has to do with the duties and responsibilities of the land use authority or planning commissioners. What we've done at the planning commission's request is place a minimum number of meetings that they are required to attend, and then that is to be reviewed annually. And at that point, it would be determined if the county commissioners, as you are the ones who appoint those planning commissioners, would like to keep them on the planning commission or not at that point. But we do, to this point, historically, we've tracked attendance, but there hasn't been like a minimum requirement for attendance. So the proposal as part of this ordinance, the planning commissioners proposed was 8 meetings annually. They hold a meeting monthly, so 12 meetings annually, and the minimum attendance would be 8 of those 12 meetings.
And that would be physical in-person attendance, or could they do it online possibly? I mean, I'm just,
Generally, they're done physically.
Okay.
We have accommodated virtual, whether it be by phone or by Zoom, if it's needed in order to have a quorum present. So,
any discussion to the change in ordinance?
I think it's a good suggestion.
Okay, take a motion on ordinance number 600.
I will make a motion that we approve ordinance number 600,
Okay, I'll second it.
section -21-1-050. Sorry.
So I'll second that. It's on ordinance 600 section 2-1-50, land use authority amendments. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, on to 601.
okay, 601, this one was suggested by one of our county commissioners as well as one of our planning commissioners. They'd both mentioned this to me, and so we drafted the language, and was presented to the planning commission at their August meeting. Public hearing was held. No public comment was made at that time. This ordinance would remove the A1/2 zone, so it's no longer an available zone to request or to have your property zoned as such. So being that we currently have a few parcels in the county that are zoned A1/2, those would remain A1/2 until they were either rezoned by the commission or requested to be rezoned by the landowners. But the language in this ordinance essentially states that the A1/2 zone is no longer an available zone to be requested and applied to a property. So in this, the Planning Commission forwarded a recommendation of approval for this ordinance as well.
Okay, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 601, text amendment.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, next one is ordinance 602.
So ordinance 602, this public hearing came to you in August. The Riverside vacate, it is, I guess, an alley more so than a road. The old Riverside plat had alleyways going through the center of each of the historic blocks. And on this particular block, Block G, all of the neighbors got together and requested that that alleyway be vacated. So public hearing was held. I wasn't here. My understanding is that you directed staff to prepare the ordinance for adoption, and that is what you have. The ordinance has been prepared, reviewed by the attorney's office, and is ready for adoption.
Okay. Come back for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 602 for the Riverside right-of-way vacation.
I'll second it. It sounds really weird, vacation. I like that idea, but anyway. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed unanimously. All right. Let's go on to our last one here, wedding venue rezone, RR20.
So this is a rezone request that came to the Planning Commission at their August meeting. The request is to rezone 2 acres of an 8-acre parcel from the RR20 zone to the commercial neighborhood zone. This is located in the West Corinne area, so 6100 west and 4000 north. If you're familiar with this area, it is south of P&G, but 4000 north is a gravel, it's a county road, a gravel road that runs east to west. The applicant is requesting for the rezone with the hopes to locate an event center there. My understanding would be primarily weddings, but could be anything. This went to, like I said, it went to the Planning Commission. There were a variety of people that spoke at the public hearing. Some of them spoke in favor of it. Some of them spoke in opposition to it. There were some concerns about potential vandalism in a agriculturally based area. And then some of the positives were the landowner and an adjacent owner about being responsible business owners, creating more competition in that space. and willingness to mitigate, negative effects such as crowds, parking, lighting, things like that. And then there was also some concern from one member of the public and all of the planning commissioners. Ultimately, this was their greatest concern as well, was that the business being located, or I should say the property that would be zoned commercial, because what needs to be taken into account here isn't just the proposed use, but any use within that, allowed within that zone. So within that zone, because the landowner could sell the property tomorrow once it's rezoned, and then someone else could say, well, actually, I'm going to do retail or a gas station or something like that here, as opposed to an event center. All uses must be taken into account. So the largest concern ultimately was that the location was on an agricultural gravel road, and that the nearest culinary water line is approximately 1 mile away. So with that being said, the Planning Commission forwarded a recommendation of denial, and their recommendation of denial was based on that it does not meet the approval standards B and D in our land use code. And those two standards are that the commercial neighborhood zone and its uses are not harmonious with the overall character in the area, and that the adequacy of facilities and services are not adequate to serve the subject property.
Okay. Any discussion? Open to a motion.
I'll make a motion that we follow recommendation of the planning commission and deny the wedding venue rezone, RR20.
I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, road department.
Hi, I'm Darren McFarland with the Road Department. I come to you today to request approval of a gravel lease agreement. It's in Park Valley. That's the fall project we have this year in Park Valley, Kelton, and Rosette. So this where would be the location we're setting up our crush road base and gravel to do our road maintenance projects out there.
So is this an annual contract? How long is the contract?
This goes for 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah,
Have you dealt with him before?
I have not.
Oh, but I mean, this is a new contract.
This is a new contract, yes.
Okay.
And we've had it reviewed by everybody. We're good.
There was a couple things that we reviewed, it looks good, there's just a couple things that we need to note. There's an exhibit A and B that aren't attached. A is the map of the property, B is the reclamation plan. We can approve it and Darren can attach those, that's not a big deal. There's also paragraph 12 that needs to be removed. It talks about the county guaranteeing the tax status, which we cannot do because it might change depending on how it's used. We thought that was taken out of the agreement, but it wasn't, so that just needs to.
So we could approve it with modifications made by the county attorney's office?
Do you need it approved right now, or can we wait?
It would help, yeah, we have guys going out,
Oh, right now.
yeah.
But we could
Not-
do that.
Not an issue as far as.
But if we made the approval with the changes
Yeah,
proposed and taken care of by the county attorney's office, that would solve our problem. We could still get it done, right?
Yes.
So is the other guy, is he gonna be okay with these changes?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
Bruce, yeah. So it's a map of the location of that, and then, what was the other attachment?
the reclamation.
Oh, the reclamation plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you also mentioned, the.
Paragraph 12.
Striking in paragraph 12, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so,
If there's an issue with it, then we can bring it back in front of you. But
yeah.
okay.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion that we approve the gravel lease agreement number 24-29 with the recommended changes from the county attorney's office.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
I believe Marla has that for your signature.
Okay, well, we just need to make sure we get the changes on there. So she'll get it changed, then I'll sign it once it's changed with that paragraph 12, so.
Okay.
Okay. All right, next item here is public comment. Again, the rules are making public comment, they need to sign in, which we've got one. They'll have 1 3-minute opportunity to speak regardless of the number of items they wish to address. They need to address the comments to the county commission only. We have time to be heard, no back and forth, and the speakers may file copies of their remarks with the county clerk's office. So with that, we'll invite Deanna Hardy to come up.
Okay. Deanna Hardy Brigham. The Box Elder County Commission meetings minutes are a brief summary of what was stated in the commission meetings. However, the problem is the minutes are stating things that I did not say. Our committee encourages the reporting of the minutes to reflect the truth of what was stated by the Box Elder Committee of Liberty and myself. I submit a written copy of my comments, as well as there's a video recording to make sure the minutes reflect exactly what was stated in the commission meetings. On the elections, we are not an administrative state. That this is not how a republic is supposed to function. Each jurisdiction in the state is to govern the people by a republic form of government. This is part of your oath of office. When any county representative, city attorney, or county attorney see that the U.S. Congress or the Utah legislature has violated our U.S. Constitution, our Utah Constitution, it is your duty and responsibility to stand as a check and balance on any usurpation of powers not delegated. The election should be handled on a county basis with local polling locations to protect each voter's right to a secret ballot, as stated in our Utah Constitution, Article 4, Section 8. Voting by mail is not a secret ballot. The Utah legislature has violated this section of the Utah Constitution by allowing mass voting by mail. The elections have become corrupt by denying the citizens the right to a secret ballot, and also denying the citizens the right to audit the entire election process. The people need to verify that the elections are free from corruption. Governor Cox and Lieutenant Governor Henderson want the people to trust them, but they do not want the people to verify that trust. Remember, your duty and responsibility is to keep your oath of office to support, obey, and defend both federal and state constitutions. These are the contracts which are to be followed. The Box Elder Committee of Liberty will continue to pray that you will stand for what is right in protecting each citizen's right to secret ballot and to allow a full audit of our county's elections. Is it any wonder why our Constitution is hanging by a thread when our representatives consistently and continually ignore both federal and state constitutions? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That concludes our public comment. We've just taken care of the warrant register. Is there any personnel actions we need to? Anything on closed session at all, Steve? We're good that way? Okay. Take care of that. On personnel, anything else on personnel, just this? Okay. So when you sign that, I'd entertain a final motion.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned. So Steve, on this land thing, I don't know if we just need to call a meeting and Chris, you maybe set it up what we have. We just need to figure out when we can get you or Andy there. I think we need to get Chad.